This is an awesome kit. 32 scale, it's really big. Alrighty, hey guys, how you going? You're watching Hearns TV again here on YouTube, and I'm your host Dan. So I'm going to take you through an unboxing video because I love doing unboxing videos. And today I've got a kit here that I think you're going to be pretty impressed with, because I know I am. This plane is absolutely beautiful, by the way, and it is one of the most important modern fighters in the NATO arsenal currently, and it is the EF-2000A Eurofighter, also known as the Typhoon. And this is a 32 scale from Trumpeter. Yeah, it's pretty big. I like doing the big kits. They're just cool. And as you can see, this plane is gorgeous. Like really gorgeous. This program came about in 1983 for this plane to be designed. It was started by the UK, Germany, Italy, and France. I think Spain was involved as well. The French dropped out not long after, and they went off to design their own plane called the Rafale. And the rest of them worked it out, and they came up with this, the Eurofighter Typhoon. Now, the prototype first flew in 1994, I think, and it went into serial production. No, sorry, 1993 probably, and then it went into serial production in 2003. And since then, it is now the mainstay of the Royal Air Force, the German Air Force, the Italian Air Force, also the Spanish Air Force, the Italian Air Force, and it's also been ordered by Austria and Saudi Arabia as well. And other countries are also taking a good look at the Eurofighter. Very capable jet, very impressive. So let's have a look at the inside of the box, and I can show you some of the kit. Open that up. Now, I'll just move this off to the side there, and we can take a look. Here you can get a really good look at of how gorgeous the Eurofighter is. Very sleek, arrow-like delta wings on the Eurofighter. At the front here, canards for pitch control. It's a fabulously agile aircraft, the Eurofighter. This is the British one, and on the back we have the German one. This was originally designed as an air superiority fighter to counter the last generation of Soviet fighters, but the Soviet Union collapsed, and the amount of aircraft they were going to build was cut quite drastically, but still quite a few of them have been made. And here we have the weapons layout for some of the kit as well. As you can see, the laser guided bombs and Storm Shadow cruise missiles and whatnot. Even though it was designed as an air superiority fighter, the Typhoon was adapted for multi-role purposes. The later models had their ground attack capability greatly enhanced, and later versions have had anti-ship capability built into them. They're fast, agile, very lethal, very impressive fighters that can pretty much do it all. So let's have a look. Now, remember, 32 scale, so this thing is huge. And as you can see, the fuselage along here, both sides, and the tail, big tail. Here, there is a drogue chute at the back that opens up to create drag when it comes into land, to get it to stop over smaller distances. And then the air brake, and the inside of the canopy just there, where the head-up display for the pilot would be. I'll move that over to there. Now we'll have a look at the underside. Look at that, huge. And the top parts of the wings, the underside, and this is where the landing gear would go back into the fuselage. Quite a few weapon stations on the Eurofighter. 1, 2, 3, 4 were for air-to-air missiles, and it could also have 1, 2, 3, 4 on each wing as well, and even a centerline. Big weapons payload. Big weapons payload, lots of missiles, and it could also carry additional fuel tanks to when in-flight refuelers were out of the question. So it can patrol, chase and intercept enemy aircraft, and it can even carry a fair amount of bombs and missiles. Here is where we have the chaff and the flare dispensers when somebody is shooting back at it. Beautiful plane. Big pieces. This would look really, really cool once it's all painted. You can imagine the paint job actually now. So let's have a look at what do we got here. Additional fuel tanks. And here we have, this is part of the air intakes. These are where the air intakes would be at the front of the aircraft, and that goes and it feeds the air into the engines at the rear. Now the engines, this is the engines. I've been looking forward to showing you the engines actually and telling you a little bit about them. The engines that were used was actually one of the reasons why the French left the program, because they wanted to use their own engines. But this thing can super cruise, which means it can break the sound barrier without the use of an afterburner, and it can super cruise to Mach 1.5. That is pretty fast. That's very impressive. But it's not only that, but when it does engage the reheat, you can push the jet to a thrust to weight ratio of 1.2 to 1, which is very, very high. If for most of the generation 4.5 aircraft that it would come up against, the Eurofighter has a very impressive thrust to weight ratio. Very, very fast. Oh, and here you have the turbine blades that would be on the inside of the engines. And some of the turkey feathers there, which is where the exhaust would come out the back. We'll have a look next at everybody's favorite part, some of the weapons. Now, we've got a few of the molds here for you to have a look at. Yes, and here we have the things that do the business. As you can see there, and even over here and there as well. That's the ASRAAM, or the Advanced Short Range Air-to-Air Missile. I think they are being phased out in favor of the AIM-9X heat-seeking missile. Also radar-guided missiles on the Typhoon. Radar range was about 220 kilometers, I believe, and on days where the weather was good, I think it was actually a little bit more. Now here you can see the Storm Shadow cruise missile. I'd like to point out this little, I'll lift it up. Actually, I had my head in the way. I'll lift it up. As you can see here, there's this little triangle part sticking out. Now, once this is deployed from the aircraft, that actually breaks away, and that's an air intake that feeds a jet engine in the back, and that's why they call it a cruise missile, because it actually cruises for long distances, and it's not quite as fast as most of the air-to-air missiles are. And if one of these things is being pointed at you, you're probably going to have a very bad day. Now, let's have a look at some more of the Eurofighter. Wingtips and the radome at the very front, and more there. And what else do we get out? Some more of the audience, more of the Storm Shadow missiles, and I think these were anti-radar missiles, anti-radar installation missiles just there, and some of the internals of the aircraft and the pilot seat. And here is the array for the radar and the wingtips. Now, the wingtips on the Eurofighter were actually electronic countermeasuring systems that help to block or jam enemy communications, enemy tracking it, and even enemy shooting at it. The wing on the right-hand side, the wingtip pod, could actually deploy a towed array, which would help to confuse missiles and jam the opponent's ability to see the aircraft. Very advanced, a lot of really good features on the Eurofighter. I wish I could go through all of them, but this video would just go for ages. So I'll put those there, and then now we can have a look at some of the canards at the front. Very distinguishing feature, actually, how they sort of go downwards on an angle. They look almost like whiskers in a way. but that, once again, that helps the pitch control. It gets its nose around in tight turns so it can get a clear shot at the opponent. More of the cockpit, and I want to show you, here we have them. I want to show you the pylons that would go here. These go underneath the wings. This is what the weapons and the fuel tanks would be resting, well, would be held into place with underneath the aircraft. And I'm going to show you now the cockpit canopy. I'll hold it up to the camera, as you can see. Nice rounded canopy, excellent field of view for the pilot, which is essential at close range dogfighting. When dogfighting, even with jets now, speed is rapidly lost actually, and a lot of your instrumentation is not that good. You should be having your head down, looking at your instruments. You've got to be looking around and seeing where your opponent is turning, and for that you need a very, very good field of view, and the Eurofighter truly does deliver in that area. So yeah, all right, I think I've shown you enough of this kit. This is an awesome kit. 32 scale, it's really big. I'm very big fan of the Eurofighter, as you can tell, and for a mere $124 million you can have one yourself. But instead you could spend a hell of a lot less and get a plastic model kit off us and get not quite as much enjoyment out of it, because you won't be breaking the sound barrier, but it will definitely look cool when people come around and see what you've made and have it up with all of your other finished works. Alrighty guys, once again, thanks for tuning in. I love making these videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I always look forward to seeing you guys in the store so we can have a bit of a chat, and I would like to hear some feedback, and even tell me, like, I want you to do a review of something else, and yeah, I'm always willing to please the audience. But yeah, cool guys, rock and roll. See you next time.